Hey everyone, it's low carbon keto nutrition specialist Amy Berger from 2itnutrition.com, bringing you, as always, keto without the crazy. Before I get into the topic today, just one thing to tell you about. The Stallslayer Masterclass is happening in September. So, based on my book, The Stallslayer, which is about, shockingly, breaking fat loss stalls or plateaus on keto, or getting slow and stubborn fat loss moving. And I know none of you is having that problem, so nobody needs to take this course. Nobody needs help getting that fat loss moving a little more quickly or getting it unstuck. So for all the nobodies out there who don't need that, click on the link below, Stallslayer Masterclass happening in September. It is online, it's entirely virtual, it's a video-based course taught by yours truly. There is a Facebook support group for 3 weeks. You do not have to use Facebook to do the course. The Facebook group is just extra, cheerleading and encouragement and help troubleshooting for those who like Facebook. I know many of you don't. The course is totally separate from Facebook. So if you don't want to use Facebook, you can still do the course. We do get the question sometimes, can you, do it like outside the US? Do you have to be available at certain times? No, it's entirely self-paced, video-based, and there's some downloadable PDFs. And I do broadcast some live videos in the Facebook group. But again, if you don't use Facebook, you will not miss the videos. You won't be able to watch them live, but you will be able to watch them as a replay the next day. You will get a link by email to watch the video the next day. So all good. That's the Stallslayer. Check out the link. Now to today's topic. Kind of controversial, although maybe not that controversial because most people's opinions is just no, don't do it. I have a different opinion. Rewarding yourself with food or food related stuff, let's put it that way. When we get through difficult things or we achieve a certain milestone, we kind of want a little treat. We want a little reward. It's a way to I'm going to repeat the word. It's a way to reward ourselves for getting through something difficult or for achieving some milestone or other. It can also be an incentive. It can be a form of motivation. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And when I've done that, I'm going to reward myself with this thing or this activity, this experience. And there's so much mixed thinking on this. I really don't think there's any right or wrong. We could kind of hunker down and say, well, we're just human beings and we're grown adults. Why do we need a treat? We're not dogs. We don't need treats. Grown adults don't get treats for doing the right thing. Like, oh, you sat up. Here's your treat. Like, no. Like, oh, go to work and get your work done. Here's your treat. No, we're not puppies being trained. So. And I get that, and I agree with the merit of that, but I also don't think there is anything wrong with treating yourself to something or rewarding yourself if it helps you do something that otherwise might have been difficult to do. And people reward themselves with all kinds of things, and we could debate as to like, okay, maybe I don't deserve a treat for just getting my work project done on time because that's kind of your obligation. That's not something you were supposed to do. Oh, you met your bare minimum obligation. Congratulations, you deserve a treat. I don't know. That's debatable. That's a personal decision. I tend to think of it more like really accomplishing something that was difficult, or seeing through a commitment that was difficult to see through, whatever it may be. Let's bring this back to the food and other ways to reward ourselves. A lot of people in the diet space and the keto and low carb space especially will kind of poo-poo that and look down on it, like, oh, you shouldn't, stop using food as a reward, stop looking forward to food, you shouldn't put food on this pedestal, like, oh, if I do this, then I can eat X, or then I get to go buy this thing. I don't agree. I think the problem is not so much that we reward ourselves with food, it's the kinds of food that we're rewarding ourselves with, you know? Hey, I lost 10 pounds on keto the last couple of months, so I deserve a piece of cheesecake, or I deserve that muffin. I deserve that blowout at the Chinese buffet I've been dreaming about for a few months. No, I don't. And you know me, this is no judgment. I don't care what anyone does. I'm just sharing my perspective with you. I'm just sharing my thoughts on this issue. We don't have to reward ourselves with food, but if you want to, I really don't think there's anything wrong with that. We just have to be careful about the kinds of food that we're using to do that. And you know, I'll give you some examples, like why, or not. It doesn't even have to be a milestone of keto, like I lost 10 pounds or I got off my insulin. I mean, if you're getting off insulin for type 2 diabetes, the last thing you want to do is reward yourself with something sugary or starchy, right? But it could be anything. You know, you ran your first 5K, you whatever the thing is. So it doesn't have to be just any kind of thing that was difficult for you that you did, that you accomplished or achieved, and now you would like to treat yourself to a little something nice. The reason I'm partial to doing it with food or food related stuff, and I'll talk about what I mean by that in a minute, the reason I'm partial to that is because I am not a spa girl. Like I don't reward myself with the traditional stuff that a lot of other people, especially women, would reward themselves with. I don't care about a manicure or pedicure. I don't like a day at the spa getting facials and massages is like a nightmare for me. That is not a reward for me. That's punishment. I don't look forward to that. Oh, a day at the beach, or relax at the beach. No, please, dear God, keep me as far from the beach as humanly possible. What do I like? What do I enjoy? I like good food. I like yummy, delicious, good food. And when I said food related stuff, I like nice cookware. Cheap cookware is fine. Regular, just throw away, you know, chintzy, flimsy pans, those are fine too. But I've always joked, and it's not really a joke, if I ever win the lottery, my first stops are going to be Williams-Sonoma and Sur La Table. Like, I'm going to go to the fancy schmancy cookware store. So, you know, it could be that maybe I've done something difficult and I reward myself with a waffle iron to make fancy chaffles, or, you know, a nice new whatever, like a griddle pan, you know, a good solid cast iron, like enameled cast iron grill pan. It could be an air fryer, a sous vide, whatever. And the thing is, you can reward yourself with food, but why not maybe reward yourself with the kind of food that you wouldn't normally eat? Because maybe it's kind of normally out of your price range, but a couple of times a year, you could spring for it, and it's nice because it's a really nice thing to do for yourself. And depending on your budget, maybe, you know, the treat for you or the reward for you is a filet mignon, or, you know, a bone-in ribeye steak, a bone-in cowboy steak that's like 1.5 inches thick, you know, something that's like $20 a pound, you know. Cheap. Some of my favorite cheeses are upwards of $30 a pound. That could be a treat. Get, you know, a little chunk of a super expensive cheese that you love, you never let yourself buy because it's so expensive. Why not reward yourself with low carb foods? You know, or reward yourself with an experience, like go to the ritzy steakhouse that you've never been to, that you've heard about, or, you know, get the surf and turf, get the filet mignon and lobster tail for $35, whatever. Like, I think it's fine to reward yourself with food, but do it intelligently. You don't have to reward yourself with garbage. I mean, are cookies that you ate every day of your childhood, at this point, your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, is that even a reward anyway? Is it a treat to have something that's $1.99 at the grocery store? How big a reward is that when they're practically giving it away for free because it's garbage? If you're going to treat yourself to something that's not garbage. Treat yourself to something good. You know, or like I said, get a really nice new pot or pan. If you are somebody that likes bubble baths and candles and fancy smelling bath salts, or a day at the spa, do that. do that. You don't have to reward yourself with food, but I'm tired of hearing holier than thou people tell us that there's something wrong or we are like lower beings on the morality scale because we want to treat ourselves with food. You know, my birthday was in July, and I ordered from a very famous gourmet cheese shop in New York City. That was my little birthday present to myself. It's Murray's, by the way, Murray's Cheese Shop. I can put a link to that. They ship. I probably not outside the U.S., but they ship within at least the continental U.S. So I treated myself to some nice cheeses. And what else can I say? I have a tiny bit of notes. Yeah, you know, scallops, some kind of like fancy seafood shellfish that's pricey that you wouldn't normally get. Um, it just the possibilities really are endless, and you can treat yourself to a day at the spa, a day at the beach, you know, some new power tool you've been eyeing, a piece of exercise equipment if you consider that a treat or a reward for yourself. It doesn't have to be food, but it doesn't have to not be food, right? That's kind of all I wanted to say. I don't think we need to. There's nothing wrong with using that as a carrot, so to speak, no pun intended, like as a carrot to entice you to do something. Ooh, I'm going to work on this really difficult thing and I'm going to get it done, and then I'm going to go to that fancy steakhouse, or I'm going to get that $40 bottle of wine, or I'm going to get the fancy cheese, or the, you know, $18 a pound steak, whatever it is. I think that's about it. There really isn't that much to say about this, is there? Stop feeling bad if you reward yourself with food, but if it really is going to be something that you value because of the effort you put in to earn whatever the thing is, make it worth it. Make it worth earning. Oreo cookies, Chips Ahoy, a piece of Wonder Bread, not worth it. Not worth it. A sugary latte, a scone, a whatever, a bowl of Lucky Charms, not worth it. Decide what is worth it for you. And it, you know, if it's not food, it doesn't have to be the spa. Like, think really outside the box. It could be whatever. You know, if you normally don't go to the movies because going to the movies costs like $1 million now, go to the movies. Or get your car detailed. You know, if your car is filthy and got crumbs and all kinds of stuff in it, treat yourself to paying other people to really give that thing a nice cleaning. You know, hire a cleaning service for your house or something. Like, possibilities are endless, but it's okay to use food. Just don't use food that is going to take you further away from where you want to go. And that's it for now. Check out the Stallslayer Masterclass, and thanks for watching. If you find this stuff helpful, this kind of straight talk, subscribe to the channel and share it with everybody. All right, take care.